to you from Norwich. We've got 3 great bands lined up for you tonight. Choir Boys and Mr. Big are on the way, but right now I'm joined by L7, and welcome to the show, ladies.
Howdy.
Hi. Now, as you can see, they're all girls, and that's all I'm going to say on the subject.
Speak for yourself.
And first of all, I want to say congratulations to you for your single, Pretend We're Dead. Were you surprised how quickly it's happened in this country?
No, we paid enough money to make it happen like that. We should expect this.
We made all the right bribes.
No, seriously.
We sucked up to all the right people, as it
We
were.
sucked all the right people, as it were.
But
No, we are very surprised.
I was flabbergasted.
I was shocked. I was appalled.
Now,
We're still broke.
A lot of male bands who will remain nameless get into music to meet girls. Why did you get into music?
To meet girls. Ladies?
We got into music to play music. Because we're completely unemployable in all other areas of life. It's the only thing we know how to do.
Okay. Now, your name, I guess, L7, it doesn't categorize you as anything. I mean, like Vixen was obviously like a female band. Is that why you chose it? What exactly does it mean?
because it classifies us as dorks.
Yeah.
That we
No,
are.
we didn't want a name that you know, had gender attached to it. We you know, wanted people to hear of the band, not like associate it with a female band kind of thing, you know what I mean?
It sounded to me when I first heard it almost like an experiment or something. What
It's
does it
actually
mean?
it's an American slang word for a square. If someone's an L7, they're uncool, or because an L and a 7 make a square or something. It's in
Yeah,
Wooly Bully as well.
Yeah,
And
let's
it's
not
a
be
Sex
L7
Pistols song.
Come and learn to dance, Willy Bullet.
All right, I see.
See, we are dorks.
See? I told you.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the band, because you've been around since kind of the mid-80s, haven't you?
Since
The late 50s.
since the Middle Ages.
Is that what
we've
it
been
feels
around.
like?
Since the psychedelic 60s.
Yeah, us, the Temptations, the Four Tops, we all used to jam. Those were the days, huh, ladies?
No, I want to know the truth. Come on.
History.
History of the
This
band.
is our historian.
Susie and I started the band in 1986, I guess. We had a different rhythm section then who just did not work out because they were very mentally unstable.
So they got
Unlike
a new-
ourselves, of course.
A new mentally unstable.
Unlike the new rhythm section.
So we replaced a couple of retards with a couple of retards.
But you paid your dues in the clubs,
Yes.
which some people may not realise because you're always touted as a new band.
Yeah.
So-
That we've been sleeping on floors and
Pushing
And-
vans.
defecating in toilets that don't flush for years.
It's true.
Now, we all know about the kind of the glam scene in LA. Did that kind of inspire you to be more streetwise and more realistic?
We came along before the glam scene in LA, pretty much.
Or
And,
about the same
recent
time.
glam scene.
We didn't. We don't do anything in reaction to anything else. We're just the way we are. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we have to see those dorks walking around on the town all the time. But you know, and they do look better in spandex than we do, by the way.
And makeup.
Do you feel closer to bands like the Circle Jerks and Black Flag and that kind of underground
yeah.
scene?
oh, most definitely.
Okay, well, please stay with me because we're going to talk some more. But right now, we're going to see your video.
Which one?
From the album Bricks Are Heavy. Your debut
Which one?
International
Which
album.
video?
We
we
haven't
have
even
two.
seen it yet.
And it's Pretend We're Dead.
Oh, cool.
Hot dog, Uncle Chad. It's a good one.
They're showing it. Wow.
This with her band Femme Fatale, and of course Lorraine has now gone solo. We're back with L7. Girls are still with me. Do you feel that previous female rockers, perhaps like Runaways, Vixen and Lita Ford, have made it easier or harder for you to achieve credibility?
Oh, that's a tough question.
That's a really hard question.
I mean, Lita Ford, to my mind,
We're not
she's...
rock historians. It's really hard to tell. We've really just been doing what we do. And if they had made it easier, then we would have gotten where we are now a lot earlier, I think.
Do
So
you
you never
include
know.
Vixen in that?
I'm not really familiar with Vixen. I'm sorry.
What about Lita? Do you know? Are you familiar with her?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think
Sorry.
I think she's great.
Is she?
Anyway,
Okay.
and she
Then we'll
does
take
she
you
does
on
good
that.
things for women.
We
in
like
rock.
Joan Jett.
Yeah, she's got a new album.
We just
out.
met her recently. She's really cool.
Yeah.
Very nice person.
Excellent.
She knew the words to our songs.
She knew the words to Fugazi's songs as well.
Yeah.
She's cool.
She
That
was
is
singing.
good.
She's singing Fugazi songs. Fugazi show.
I mean, do you think that have you had to compromise your music and image in any way to get where you are now?
No.
No.
No. We haven't compromised an inch.
And is that why you chose London Records? Because you knew they'd let you have a free reign?
We didn't really choose London Records. We chose Slash Records in America, and they were affiliated with London.
We got stuck with London Records.
And the only thing we knew about
God knows why.
the only thing we knew about them was they had the Stones catalog, and that was okay by us.
And Bruce Vig produced your...
Butch.
Butch.
Oh, sorry, Butch. Butch Vig produced your debut international album, Bricks the Heavy. What kind of creative input did he have with you?
He's a masturbating animal.
Well, basically,
Basically.
he's really patient.
But in the old loose screws department, he makes Phil Spector seem very stable.
So he's pretty crazy.
He's a nutcase.
He's a kook, but we love him.
He's a very sweet kook.
Was he a good person, you know, to have around if you weren't very experienced working in the studio?
Yes.
He knows a
We've
lot.
had our experiences in the studio, so we helped each other
I mean,
out.
it was co-produced by us and him, but he was very open-minded to suggestions, you know, stuff that we wanted to experiment with, like our bongo track and stuff. He was cool.
We actually used a sample on this record, which we had never done, and he knew how to push the right buttons on that button board.
We sampled Yoko Ono screaming on our record.
He's got a secret weapon, too. I'm not supposed to go into that.
Good to think what it is.
It's called the Nirvana weapon. He just pushes a button and everything turns out. It's like Nirvana. Amazing.
Do you think that if anybody had any questions about L7, that the answer would be to come and see you live and they'd get their questions answered, or if they had any doubts about you?
Well, they wouldn't get our zodiac signs out of a live performance, but about the band, they'd pretty much get a summation from a performance.
Because you're quite aggressive live, aren't you?
We're
Well, we're kind of-
masturbating animals live.
Kind of clumsy live.
What?
Kind of clumsy live. But you'll see.
We fall down a lot and unplug ourselves, but
Sounds fun.
just the nature of the business, I guess.
We encourage bottomless stage diving.
I see. Sounds good to me. Okay, right now actually we're going to see some more music on Headbangers Ball, and this is a Hollywood band. I don't know if you ladies have heard of it. Shooting Gallery, Andy McCoy's new band. Andy McCoy from Hanoi Rock.
We're under a musical rock, as it
Yes.
were.
I had a beer with Andy McCoy once, though.
Did. Okay. Well, here he is in action with his new project, Shooting Gallery, and I can't remember what the track's called, so here it comes.
Oh, great.
It's called Having a Beer with D.
Ball,
Can't
and
get rid
we
of
won't
us.
leave.
It's like a fungus.
They've got poison waiting in the wings, and we just won't get off this bench.
and I should say that Shooting Gallery track that we saw was, of course, House of Ecstasy, their debut single, and it was very remiss of me to forget that. I'm sorry about that. Now, anyway, returning to you guys, your songs are kind of pretty aggressive. Why have you decided to keep kind of emotions and sentiments and love and romance out of your music?
What fuels our fire most is probably what angers us, I guess, and that, you know, but we don't exclude romance, or we just, you know,
We're very romantic people.
we are truly very romantic people.
There's a couple songs that deal with personal emotions. A song called Slide.
A song called One More Thing deals with depression.
So it's not just all other issues.
Is it the state of the world that makes you angry in general, or things that you see about you?
Things that affect us, whether it be things in the world or our landlords or something, you know what I mean? Anything that is in our environment.
So everybody should be able to relate to something on the record.
We think we cover pretty universal themes, unless you're like a hardcore Christian or, oops, can I say that? Or,
Censored.
or a right-wing jerk, I guess. You can relate to our music.
Have you found any differences between the American and the European audiences?
I find our audiences in the UK to be much more working class than they are in the US, which is kind of cool. And
Do they do bottomless stage diving?
in the US they do. The working class has to take the cork out of it and live a little, I think. And
I think we got one bottomless guy, but
In Paris.
In Paris.
Of course.
Are
The city of love.
Are there such things as male groupies while we're on the subject?
No.
oh God, we're trying.
they're not lined up at the backstage door, unfortunately. Come on down.
Now, what would you like people to feel when they listen to your music?
Horny.
That's a very good answer.
Happy. Rockish.
Sweaty.
Okay, well that's all we've
Understated.
got time for, and thanks very much for joining me on
Thank you.
Headbangers
Thank
Ball.
you.
Thank you for having us.
And good luck with your album, Bricks Are Heavy, and we'll hopefully catch up with you again in the not too distant future to see if any male groupies have been forthcoming.
We'll let you know.
We'll keep a list
By the
for
way,
you.
I want to be made an honorary member of your band.
Can you play keyboards?
I can play bass.
Take the bass, please. I hear there's an opening in the Rolling Stones. I'll be more than happy to leave.
Okay, thanks ever so much. Right now we're going to take our first commercial break here on Headbangers Ball, but please stay tuned because after that I shall be talking to the Choir Boys. Okay, so
Choir Boys?
stay tuned for Choir Boys.
Oh, I thought it was hand banging ball. I'm sorry.